Good evening, Graham Rawlins with our midweek edition of News Geelong. Olympian Lee Troop has been an outstanding ambassador for Geelong, Victoria and Australia in the world of long distance running, and the naming of and opening of the Troop Loop running track was another tribute to this champion, humble Geelong athlete. And tonight we will again talk to you, the viewer, about our important campaign of Use It or Lose It. From the world of Geelong sport, Mitch Scoop Cleary returns fresh from his holidays to bring you the latest sports news, while from the weather world we'll present Geelong and Surf Coast area weather forecast expected over the next 6 days. The Geelong Gallery provides many outstanding exhibitions throughout each year, and one of the current ones is a sculpture and photographic exhibition called House and Home, which explains the relationship between memory, childhood and home, including an almost life-size wooden framed biplane. Ian Nichols has more.
We're down at the Geelong Art Gallery again, where local artist Malcolm Bywaters is giving a floor talk on the latest regional artist program called House and Home. This one's a little bit different though. There's a huge model of a biplane you can see in the background, and we're going to ask Malcolm just how his fascination with aircraft, vintage aircraft of this type, took place. Malcolm, it's not very often that we get an artist actually giving a floor talk as we have today.
Well, Ian, the Geelong Gallery does this as a regular event, so they do it for all their shows, and as I commented at the floor talk, I think it's a way of making fine art less alien, and people are able to then hear the artist talk about the work, ask some questions, which is great, and get some triggers and some inroads into the artist's thinking. So it's a good way of not so much educating the wider community, but I think actually making contemporary art more approachable.
Well, I heard in your floor talk you lived very close to the Grampians in Western Victoria, and when you're a little tacker, or not so little, 7 or 8 years of age, a plane landed on your property, and that seems to have triggered something for this House and Home exhibition.
It certainly has. There was a tiger moth that landed on a very wintry day when I was about 7 or 8, and they took me for a flight, and they put the side flap down on the cockpit, and so I was able to look out through the side cockpit into the greenery of the landscape around me, see the family farm, and it was very much, for me, it's a memory and a triggering memory of House and Home and of my own childhood. Hopefully I can use that trigger for the people when they come here to visit the exhibition to see, to feel memories about their childhood through mine. Yeah.
Well, it's here till the 29th of July, so we would invite as many people as possible to come down, because this is, we've never seen an exhibition quite like this one.
Thank you. Yeah, we are open, the gallery is open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m, and that's 7 days a week. And yes, I look forward to people's response, as yours was when they come into the Max Bell Gallery and they see this rather large biplane, and hopefully it does trigger memories of childhood, family, house and home.
At the Max Bell Gallery here at Geelong Art Gallery, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. The runners of Geelong are cock-a-hoop with the opening of the new Troop Loop, a continuation of the running track around the banks of Geelong's Barwon River, named in honour of the Geelong champion distance runner who visited to open the track, as Meryl Friend reports.
We're here at the river end of Swanson Street next to Landy Field, where the launch and the official unveiling of Troop Loop. This is in honour for Geelong-born Olympian Lee Troop, and you can either do a 6-kilometre or 10-kilometre walk, jog, run or cycle.
I'm extremely humbled to, have been given the honour of having this track named after me, the Troop Loop, and I was none the wiser until a couple of months ago when I was informed from Councillor Bruce Harwood that they wanted to do this. So for me, obviously it's a wonderful recognition of not only what I've done as an athlete, but the contributions I've made to the community. And to be perfectly honest, all the things I've done over the last 30 years, I've done it because I just felt as human beings we all need to contribute in some way, shape or form to make the environment and the world that we live in a better place. So, well, I've never done anything for this, but to obviously get this is just it's amazing. And as I said, I'm extremely humbled.
Well, you were saying before that the Old Barwon River is a pretty well-known place. You did your first run down here when you were 11 years old?
Yeah, I ran on the first race I ever did was the Barwon Banks Fun Run back in around about 1984, and you know, to think that, you know, almost 30 years ago, the first race that I did was the Barwon Banks, and as I said, to have a large portion of the Barwon River being named after me, it's you know, there's a great synergy there, and for me, it's yeah, it's taken a little while for it to sink in, and obviously seeing the work that the council's done around the river and having run around this river for 30 years, it's a wonderful honour and something that I'll always cherish.
Now, incredible career with Olympic highlights, and is there a particular moment that you're particularly proud of or that you fondly memorise?
I think making my first Olympics, I mean, as a kid growing up, you know, you aspire to, you know, to greatness, and, you know, being, I think, 11 and seeing Robert De Castella compete and, you know, setting the pathway for, you know, marathon running and sport in general, to, you know, get there eventually in 2000 at 27 years of age was a dream come true. You know, there's no greater honour than representing your country, because not only are you representing your country, you're representing your community and you're representing your family. And, you know, for me, I've always tried to make sure that regardless of the result, whether I've had a great race or a bad race, that I've always given my best to make sure that I don't let the people down that I'm representing. So I'd say making my first Olympics would be probably the most cherished of performances I've put in.
Yeah, it is. It was an idea I sort of was pondering about for a little while, and I thought, well, you know, I couldn't think of a more appropriate person to name this particular track after, or have recognition to, than Lee Troop. For I couldn't imagine how many kilometres he's run in this area. It would be many thousands and then some. But no, I think it's good to recognise people who've achieved what he's done. In this case, you know, 3 Olympic appearances plus Australian titles, etc. So I mean, and a great ambassador as well for Geelong.
Well, he's living overseas in the States now, so he's still very fond of Geelong as his home, and is obviously very honoured by this.
Oh, that's good to hear. But, you know, Troopy is like born and bred Geelong. He lives and breathes Geelong, and, you know, as I say, someone I think more than worthy of this sort of recognition. And I hope, you know, maybe some of the kids will take a little bit out of it and see that, you know, one of the locals has reached these sort of heights of arguably one of the toughest Olympic events. I can't imagine why you want to run a marathon, but he's done it at the highest level on a few occasions, so it's a pretty good effort.
From Troop Loop, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl, and congratulations to Troopy. The Torquay Surf Lifesaving Club has serviced the community for over 66 years, with volunteers forming the backbone of the organisation and its great work. From the Torquay shores of Bass Strait, our old man of the sea, Ian Nichols, reports.
Well, it's a winter's day here in Torquay, but it's a nice, warm and fuzzy feeling at the Surf Lifesaving Club. The state government is to give them a grant of $300,000 so they can make over this 40-year-old building. It's long overdue, and everybody's pretty happy, including the member for South Barwon, Andrew Kados, the club president here, Ian Turner, and the mayor of the Surf Coast, Councillor Brian McKitterick.
It's great news here for the Surf Lifesaving Club and for the Torquay and Surf Coast communities that $300,000 is to be granted to the Torquay Surf Lifesaving Club to assist in the renovations and repairs to the buildings.
And President Ian Turner obviously waiting for this day to happen. It's going to be a big makeover for this Surf Lifesaving Club.
It's going to be fantastic for our club, for the fact that we've got a lot of work ahead to repair our building and bring it up to the standard that's required so that we can provide surf lifesavers for the Torquay beach. Andrew has been a great help in the last 18 months in fulfilling the government's promise of these funds, and we're entirely grateful to the Baillieu government recognising the value that surf lifesavers have on our beaches.
You are trying to keep up with the growth of Torquay.
Yes, we certainly are, and as Ian said, the government does recognise the importance of volunteers, and we realise that there has been growth here in this area. When this was built 40 years ago, aside from perhaps Bell Street and Gilbert Street, there wasn't much else in Torquay at that stage.
Look, Torquay's a great club, and we've been going for 66 years. We have 1,000 members. We have 1,000 dedicated members who are all here, you know, training and making sure that they can impart their life-saving skills on the people who come and join our club. We're a proud club. We enjoy keeping the Torquay beach safe, as we have for the past 66 years, and we continue on.
We're very pleased the state government have provided $300,000 for the refurbishment of the Torquay Surf Lifesaving Club. 40-year-old building that's in need of repair and some development, and we're very excited for the community in Torquay that the state government have undertaken this pledge.
Well, we know that Torquay has grown enormously since day one, when there were just a couple of streets here and a few male members, but today we cater for nippers, and women, as you've mentioned in the earlier speech, comprise a terrific proportion of the club membership here.
Yes, look, it's developed, and during that time with the community change and that women are more involved with Surf Lifesaving Club and of course the nippers, and it's a great community facility, and with that the needs for growth and the development of the infrastructure in the building. So look, we're really pleased that the $300,000 of the state government contributing to achieve that.
At the Torquay Surf Lifesaving Club, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. As we go to a break on this midweek edition of News Geelong, don't forget you can Twitter us on our Twitter account @NewsGeelong31 with your thoughts and comments, and also on Facebook, www.facebook.com/NewsGeelong31. Use both or either of these tools to comment and support us with our Use It or Lose It campaign. We'll return with more news after this.